Welcome, and thank you for joining me on the mat today. This will be a 60-minute class for balance, strength, and flexibility. Let's get started with a few hops right in place, just to get our blood flowing and our muscles loosened up. Now we're going to swing our arms from left to right in an upward motion. We will also twist and rotate our hips and rotate our heels and ankles. Make sure that you take a breath in and breathe out as you reach your arms overhead. Now we are going to do neck rolls. Make sure you get a full, slow rotation with your chin going in a circular motion. Now let's switch directions and go the opposite way. Now focus your attention to your feet. We're going to make circles, stretching our toes, heels, and ankles, warming up our lower limbs for our journey. I encourage you to take your time, stretching out your joints and warming up. Now bring your breath to center. Come down to a comfortable position in hero pose, sitting back on your heels. We are going to begin with wrist rolls, loosening our joints and feeling the release. Now let's find a comfortable position in hero pose. Close your eyes, stack your shoulders over your hips, take a deep inhale through your nose, and exhale slowly. Feel the grounding energy beneath you as you set your intention for your practice. Now we come to a seated twist. Place your right hand behind you and your left hand on your right knee. Looking back over your right shoulder, inhale and lengthen your spine. On your next exhale, gently twist over to your left side, gazing over your shoulder and keeping your balance. Now let's do this again, keeping your balance and turning over to the right side. On your next inhale, exhale and rotate over to the left side. On your next inhale, let's come to an all fours position. Now flowing with your breath, let's add a gentle wave. Inhale, roll forward with the hips. Exhale, ripple back. Adding this kind of movement can really get you in the groove and get ready for a good flow. Now let's get ready for cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your heart. Cow. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, cat pose. Do this for a few rounds and flow with your breath. Now let's relax out of the pose and get ready for a balanced table. Taking your left arm and your right leg and extending each alternate limb. Keeping your back straight, going with your breath, flowing to alternate sides. You must engage your core in order to remain stable. This is about balance and breath. Now we move into tiger pose, bringing in the knee and elbow to touch on the opposite limbs. Engage your core and flow with your breath. Inhale to extend out. Exhale, engage your core and tuck in. Let's do this for a few more times on each side. On this last tuck, we are going to place our hands firmly into the mat and jump our feet back into plank position, finding a strong core, and we will hold it here. Now we chaturanga and press back up into downward dog. Now let's breathe and find our strength here. We can open up, swaying our hips, moving our heels and ankles, even pedaling our knees. Let's get ready for this journey. Now come forward into plank with your core engaged. Exhale and lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Now shift into downward dog, lifting your hips and pressing back. Now we are going to balance on the right and lift our left leg up for three-legged dog. Bring your leg down and reset. On the opposite side, lift your right leg up for three-legged dog. Now coming down and reset from your three-legged dog, jump or walk your feet up to the top of your mat outside of your hands for a deep malasana squat. We are going to be here for a while, so get comfortable and focus on your breath. Keep your chest up and your feet planted firmly, feeling the grounding energy. As we make our way out of this deep breathing state, we transition into half splits. Step 1 foot forward, flexing the toes. Inhale, exhale. Fold deeper with each stretch. Take your time. On your next inhale, we will transition into gate pose. Rotate your hips forward, place your foot flat and rotate your knee. Come up strong with an inhale and lean over to your long body side, placing your hand firmly into the mat for support. On your next inhale, you're going to come out of gate pose and into your second round of half splits on the same side. Take your time. Feel the difference between your first round and this round as you deepen the stretch with each breath. On your next inhale, we will rotate into a gate pose on the same side. Now, we transition for added core and balance, placing your hand on your hip, bringing your feet together for side plank. We will hold this for a few breaths. Great job. Now transition into plank, placing your hands firmly into the mat and stepping your left foot to the outside of your left arm for lizard lunge. It's okay to move around as you allow your breath to create space in the pose. On your next inhale, you will rotate your left arm up to the ceiling, turning your gaze for an easy twist. On your next inhale, we will slowly release out of this pose and transition into child's pose as we make our way to do the same flow on your opposite leg. On your next inhale, you will release from child's pose and transition into a downward dog, upward dog flow. Starting in plank and pressing your hips up to the sky, let's loosen your hamstrings and your ankles, feeling the difference and the heat activation as you continue this flow. We press forward into a chaturanga and press our hands into the mat, squeezing our glutes and lifting our chest for upward dog. Now let's release from upward dog, pressing our hips back and rolling up gently so that we can gather ourselves into half splits using the right foot. On your next inhale, rotate your hips forward for a gate pose. Press firmly into the mat. Deepen the stretch with every breath. On your next inhale, let's transition into half splits, getting a good stretch into our hamstrings by flossing that muscle. On your next inhale, rotate your hips forward back into another solid gate pose. Now let's engage that core. Place your hand on your hip and bring your feet together for side plank. We will hold this for a few breaths. Now place your hands firmly into the mat for plank and press into a downward dog and step that right foot to the outside of your right forearm, aligning your leg and forearm for lizard lunge. On your next inhale, let's rotate that right hand up to the sky for easy twist. Now let's release and come into child's pose. Let's take 15 to 20 breaths in this pose. On your next inhale, let's come out of child's pose into a downward dog, pressing your hips back into the sky. Grounding your palms into the mat, we're going to lift our left leg up and over, stacking our hips. Now also for the right side, we'll do a three-legged dog. Jump or walk your feet to the top of the mat, planting your feet to the outside of your hands for a deep malasana squat. On your next inhale, let's come out of our malasana squat and come to the center of our mat, ready to initiate some balance, breath work, and grounding. Now inhale and raise your hands above your head. Exhale and drop them below. Do this again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. We will initiate this pose by clasping your hands above your head and using your right arm to guide and pull your left into a side body stretch. Let's come out of your side body stretch and do some inhales and exhale as we transition to the other side. We will do this for another round. Now, coming out of your last side body stretch, you're going to spread your feet further than shoulder width, pointing your heels almost out further than your toes. And we're going to go into a wide leg forward bend. Now let's walk our hands over to our right leg for a deeper stretch. We can come back to center and make our way over to our left leg. Now coming back to center, we'll take a few deep breaths into our wide forward bend. Now let's slowly transition ourselves to standing by rolling ourselves up and bringing our feet back into the center of our mat. From there, we transition to the side with our right foot forward, bending our knee and bringing our hands up for a high lunge. Lift the heart and stretch into the hips as you deepen into the pose. Now drop your back heel to the mat and square your hips for Warrior One. Now spread your arms out at the side and gaze over the top of your front hand in Warrior Two. Keeping your foundation strong, bring your front arm up and over the back for a side bend in Reverse Warrior. Now step to the top of the mat and sink into chair pose, placing weight into your heels and engaging your core. Now shift your weight onto one foot, lifting the opposite knee, and extend that leg forward, holding your big toe for balance. Now gently release your foot and drop your leg. We are going to hinge at the hips for a forward fold. Take your time and breathe as you rock side to side. Now gently roll up, bringing your arms over your head, breathing in and breathing out as you bring your arms to your side. We are going to transition to do the same flow on the opposite side. Step forward into your high lunge, creating a strong base and raising your hands above your head. Open your heart and drop your knee as you lower deeper into the stretch. Now we ground our back heel as we transition into Warrior One. Now bring your hands down for Warrior Two, gazing over the top of your front hand. Keeping your strong foundation, we flip that front arm to our back as we enter Reverse Warrior. Keeping your lead foot planted, step to the top of your mat as we prepare for chair pose. Sink that weight to the back of your heels and engage your core. Now plant one foot and lift the opposite knee, grabbing that toe and doing an extended toe grab on the other side, holding for balance. Gently release your foot, drop your leg as we hinge for a forward fold. Rolling up with our breath, bringing our hands over our head and breathing out as they come down. Do a few of these to loosen up as we transition into our floor flow. Make your way to your mat, sitting on your bottom. Sit back, lift your chest, lift your legs, and engage your core, with your arms reaching forward, and you find your strength as you breathe through half boat. Now you can release and extend your legs wide, feet on the ground, for a seated wide leg forward bend. We're going to start in the middle, just reaching your hands forward and relaxing with every breath. Slowly rolling up, we're going to reach over to our right side, grabbing our big toe and extending our spine. As we release our toe, we walk our hands to our left side as we reach for the opposite foot and lengthen our spine. Now bend your knee and shift your weight, using your hands to guide you. We extend our back leg as we lean forward into pigeon pose, squaring our hips. Fall deeper into the stretch as you breathe. Gently come out of this pose using your arms as support. As you come to the middle, windshield wiper your knees left and right to loosen your hips and prepare for the other side. Rotating your knees until your hips are squared, one leg is back and the other leg is parallel to the mat. Using your elbows for support, taking your breath deeper into the stretch. Using your arms as support, you rotate your hips as we come to the center of the mat in a wide-legged position. Bring the soles of your feet together and your knees wide, feeling your breath soften. Take a moment to catch your breath. We are going to rotate into a half boat. Sit back, lift your legs, engage your core with your arms forward. Now you can release and lie on your back. Here we bring our soles of our feet together again with our knees wide, and we find our breath in a reclined bound angle. Now bring your knees together, crossing one ankle over the opposite thigh and reaching your hand through the loop, grabbing your shin and pulling your knee to your chest gently. Now release your left foot to the ground and lay that left knee and right foot down to your left side, opening up for a deep stretch along the right side. For a deeper stretch, you can add a slight pull to that right knee. Now we're going to release from here and do a little hamstring floss as we bring that right leg up, straighten it out, and just go ahead and do a little flossing of that hamstring by extending and pointing and flexing that right foot. Now place your right foot on the ground and go ahead and bend your left leg, crossing it over your right knee so that you can enter pigeon pose on the opposite side. Now release that right foot to the mat and lay that right knee and left foot down to your side, getting a deep stretch along your left side. Now we can release from here and dig into a hamstring floss on our left side. Now we're going to release from here and draw our knees into our armpits for happy baby. You're going to hold your feet and rock gently side to side, releasing that lower back. Now plant your feet to the ground and let's get ready for some glute bridges. Getting up onto your shoulders and getting your feet planted. You're going to squeeze those hips and press into the sky. We're going to give a few pulses of these and we're going to hold at the top for a few breaths. Remember to breathe in your transitions from holding the glute bridge to breathing out on your way down. great work. Now let's get back into that happy baby, and we can give ourselves a nice big hug as we roll to the side gently to release our lower back again. Now let's release as we enter Shavasana. Extend your legs and your arms by your sides, palms facing up. Close your eyes and let's breathe. Come to a natural breath. Absorb the benefits of your practice. Give yourself gratitude for showing up today and being strong throughout this practice. Creating the mental space to slow down and focus on your breath. All right, now bring that awareness to your feet. Start to wiggle your toes. Start to bring that awareness to your hands, bringing your attention back into this realm. You're going to scoot off to your side. Don't just rush up, but let's get into a fetal position on your side just to wake ourselves up as we continue to press and work our way to a sitting up position. Now let's find a comfortable seat on the mat, getting ourselves situated, and we're going to do some breath work to end out our practice. Find your natural breathing rhythm, and now we're going to bring our focus to our breath. I want you to cover your right nostril with your right finger, and we're going to do deep 8 breaths using only our left open nostril. Once those deep 8 breaths are complete, You're going to take a few recovery breaths and move on to the left nostril. Take your time clearing your system. I want you to focus on your breath, taking your time to create the space for 8 deep breaths. Once you're done, we're going to take this time to get some natural breathing rhythm. Focus on your breath. Focus on the clarity in mind that you have now. Now we're going to do another breathing exercise. Cover your right nostril, and this time 4 deep breaths on each side. Doing the left nostril as well. Focus on those 4 deep breaths. Let's bring our breath and attention back to center as we close out our practice. Thank you for joining me on the mat today. Now let's open our chest and breathe in, arms going up, and we breathe out, arms coming down. We'll do this one more time to close out our practice. Thank you for joining me on the mat. Namaste.